What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, I want to give a big shout out to the brother JJ Phantom for the donation to the channel via the Cash App, and leaves a note saying, "What if Melo went to Golden State in 2016 instead of Kevin Durant?" So I guess in this situation, Kevin Durant resigns with the Thunder, or he signs elsewhere. Now, in 2016, if my memory serves me correctly from what I just read, Anthony was not a free agent. So I would assume in this scenario, I'm not mistaken, I don't think he was a free agent in 2016. So if that's the case, then he would have to ask for a trade. Now, if he asks for a trade, uh, who does Golden State give up? Draymond Green, which I don't think they would have done at that time, considering that at that point in time, you could argue that had they won the championship, he would have been Finals MVP. I'm saying this as a guy who don't like Draymond Green. So let's just agree to, let's just fudge it a little bit. Let's fudge things a little bit and say that somehow in this scenario, Carmelo is a free agent, which I'm still having problems understanding because how in the world could they afford Carmelo Anthony, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green? But somehow, some way in this scenario, that's what it is. Okay, he's on the team. Now, I'm assuming he's going to have to play small forward because Draymond is the power forward on that team. Well, one thing that's for certain, he would not be the natural fit that Kevin Durant was. Um, don't get me wrong, Kevin Durant is one of the greatest scorers the game has ever seen, but Kevin Durant is not as ball dominant, nearly as ball dominant as Carmelo Anthony was, at least in his prime. Prime, he's not as ball dominant. Carmelo, was a guy used to having the ball in his hands. That's not going to work in Golden State. Golden State, we all know by that point in time, Steph Curry was the engine that ran that team. Now I could argue that they weren't quite as dependent upon Steph Curry as they are now, or have been the last few years, but they were starting to become more Curry centric. And they're not going to stop that for the likes of Carmelo Anthony. Now, to me, Carmelo Anthony is a really, really good player, and I think he's hated on way too much. But I don't think he's as good as Kevin Durant. I think he would have to alter his game. Uh, I think the media would be very critical of him because as they've always been very critical of Carmelo Anthony. They'd be even more so then because he'd be in the spotlight. Um, I guess to a certain extent, Carmelo would have to turn into a hybrid of what he ultimately became in Portland and LA, which is an outside shooter, a 3-point shooter. Now Carmelo was younger then, I think in his early 30s, so he still had something left in the tank. I guess he would be a guy who, in that offense, would be more of a catch and shoot player. Definitely will have some plays drawn up for him, but I can't see him just holding the ball like he did on other teams. You know what I'm saying? Denver, um, New York. What I'm thinking is with Golden State, he may have to do things such as cut more to the basket, have more plays where he's cutting to the basket, off of assists from Draymond Green and Curry. Um, they probably would, work to get him open for jumpers, uh, spot up threes. He probably would definitely be working on his 3 pointer even faster and quicker than he did in real life. That's where I kind of pretty much see pick and pop, pick and roll situations for Carmelo. Uh, well, I shouldn't say pick and pop because Carmelo. Well, yeah. I'll say pick and pop. Um, because in that situation, in that scenario, Carmelo's going to be more of a passer. Matter of fact, I think one of his last years in New York, Carmelo averaged over 4 assists a night. So that part of his game was getting better. So yeah, pick and pop, pick and roll situations. Like I said, he would have to learn how to play more off the ball, most definitely, in Golden State. Um, so there'll be some growing pains, I guess. But ultimately, I think it will work. I don't know about championships. I don't know about finals MVPs. That's pointless to try to predict in this scenario. Um, Points per game, I really don't know. I mean, because you got Curry, he's going to get his 25, 26 a game. Clay, pre-injury, he's going to get his 20 plus a game. Um, Draymond's probably getting about 9 points again, points at that point, maybe 10. Um, I'm assuming Carmelo would get like 20 to 22, maybe 22 points a game, 23 points a game, somewhere in that range. I don't think he would be averaging what KD averaged, which was 26, 25. I think it'd be more around 22, 23. I think his efficiency would be I think his efficiency would be better, but not as great as KD's. Like, I think his efficiency would be more around 47%. I think which would be very high for that part of his career. About 47%, maybe 37, 38% from downtown, 80 pick and roll scenarios, pretty much what I see.